Quick! Quick! The king is around.
Move aside!
Make way for the king! Make way for the king of the jungle!
These were words commonly heard, along with the pattering of little feet, when Lion would take his daily afternoon strolls through the bush. Pretending as if he never heard a word of it, he would walk about majestically and ruffle his mane while the little animals lined up the paths, waiting for Lion to pass by. He took great pride in the fact that he was well respected among the other animals, and he certainly liked the attention he would get from the weaklings. The greater animals didn't care too much for him, although they, of course, gave him the honor that was due him. But they would never stop their day-to-day business just to see him walk by. So Lion basked in the warmth of adoration of whoever would graciously give it to him. I mean, who wouldn't? This, however, quickly got to his head, and you certainly know what the wise owl says. When the head of a man becomes swollen, his crown can no longer fit him. So was the case with Lion. He bossed the small animals around and roared fear into their little hearts at any small chance he afforded. Hence the animals no longer respected him as much, but feared his wrath. Mouse knew what it felt like to live in constant fear. The emotion was no stranger to him, because that's how he lived most of his life. He always startled when he heard a noise, and hated when being sneaked upon. Many of the other animals knew this about him, and he was therefore constantly jeered at and made the butt of many jokes and scares. And boy, oh boy, did he just hate it. But try as he might, that was just his nature. He, however, had no idea that his luck would one day change in a much unexpected way. During certain times of the year, the heavens would show a full moon, and on such occasions, many of the animals would gather at the village square and playgrounds, basking under its full light. It was an unofficial festival, or party, if you would put it that way. Everyone would wait in expectation for such days to unwind from everyday struggles and forget his or her problems for a short while. The older creatures would tell each other stories of old, the young ones would run around playing hide and seek, while the adolescents would sneak about with their crushes. For some of the more outdoor and adventurous animals, playing dares and tricks on their fellow counterparts was always top of their list. Hyena, jackal, fox, and hare always led such games. This time, they came up with the idea of drawing up lots using sticks of straw. Whoever chose the shortest straw would be given a dare and had to complete it without fail before the end of the week, or else be doused in skunk's stink. Mouse decided to partake in the challenge for fun.
What harm could that do anyway?
He thought.
About 20 of us are here to play, and chances are I won't even pick the shortest straw. Even if I do, how bad could the day be? And if I can't complete it, people always make fun of me anyway. There's no more harm that could do. Also, if skunk gets me, the worst they can do is banish me from the village for a week until I'm clean. Let me be brave and do this for once.
So Mouse joined in with the other animals for the dare. Hare brought out a hat and put in a few sticks of straw. Each animal stuck his paw in, picked a straw as quickly as possible without looking, and passed the hat on to the next animal. At the end of the exercise, all the animals opened their paws at the same time to reveal who had the shortest straw. And guess what? Mouse had the shortest. The company burst out in laughter. Mouse started sweating profusely.
How could this happen to me?
He thought. He wished the ground would open and swallow him up, but of course it didn't. Seeing that it was Mouse that had the shortest straw, gave the other animals more ammunition in giving him a hard dare, knowing very well that he would not be able to complete it. They finally came to the agreement that Mouse had to run up and down Lion 3 times when he was asleep without waking him up and without getting caught. Mouse had no other choice but to agree. Jackal and Hyena monitored Lion daily until they one day saw him fall asleep under a huge oak tree. It was a cool evening, and the African sun was setting gently, waving goodbye to the earth and promising to come back for another visit the next day. Jackal and Hyena quickly went to find Mouse and give him word that now was his opportunity. Mouse reluctantly followed them and indeed came across Lion peacefully taking a nap. There was no backing down now. Mouse quietly and softly ran up Lion's side, up and onto his back, and only his tail flickered. Mouse's heart was pounding so loud that he thought Lion would be able to hear it. But he still stayed fast asleep. Mouse quickly finished off the challenge and was just about to run off when Lion woke up and caught him by the tail. Mouse squealed in fear while Hyena and Jackal quickly scurried away to tell the other animals that Mouse was toast.
I give you 5 seconds to tell me what you were doing before I eat you up.
Lion roared. Mouse could hardly express himself and could only cry out,
I beg for your forgiveness, O King. Pardon your lowly servant, dear sir. If you let me go, I will never forget your kindness and will one day pay you back.
You? Little you? What could you possibly do for me? Hilarious! It's pretty clear that you're as silly as they come. Get out of my sight!
Lion said, and threw Mouse into the bushes. Mouse wasted no time in finding his feet and thanked the gods of the land all the way home. He vowed never to involve himself in such a risky and unnecessary endeavor ever again. Some time later, Mouse went out and about to look for something to eat. But imagine his horror and utter surprise when he came across a helpless and worried lion caught in a trap set by some hunters whose intention was to capture him alive and take him back to their king. The lion had struggled to find his way out all night and had grown weary. The hunters had come by earlier and tied him to a tree while they went to look for a wagon to carry him away. Seeing Lion trapped helplessly, Mouse ran up to him and quickly gnawed away at the ropes until they formed a hole big enough for Lion to crawl out and be set free. Lion was so grateful that he looked at Mouse and said,
You taught me a valuable lesson today, Mouse. I did not know that you, whom I looked down on, could help me. Now I know that if a farmer does not kill a tender tree, it will surely one day become a shelter.